Good evening, Fernwood. It is your eel who squeals Neil, and it's time for us to reveal what's concealed on another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We're watching the 265th episode from April 8th, 1977. Let's take a look back at yesterday. Local white supremacist leader Vernon Bales leads a meeting with the glorious guardians of good and continues sowing the seeds, which are lies, that the troubles of Fernwood recently have all been caused by what appears to be a black man. Bearing in mind that Tex and Vernon have been planting this evidence since the explosion at the factory. Vernon then suggests to Tom Hartman that he should discourage his wife from her friendship with Dewey, and says that Dewey is a member of a militant black group in Fernwood, which is probably fictional. Vernon then takes the pressure off of Tom by making it a GGG mandate. The mandate passes even though most of the people in the room don't really know that they voted for it. And as the meeting ends, it seems like Tom is mildly skeptical. Kathy Shumway gets a visit from her mother Martha, and when Martha asks how Kathy is doing, she says she can't pay the rent, the bills, none of it. Martha then suggests that she move in because she has left the Shumway home since she was accused of kleptomania, a true accusation which she vehemently denies. Martha pleads her case, and Kathy is not too comfortable with it until Martha comes to begging, so Kathy says yes, though it's clear she has her misgivings. Back in the Hartman kitchen, Mary is on the phone with Loretta, who has recently seen clues of a monster nearby. She ignores her daughter Heather's graffiti on the refrigerator because there's a visitor, Dewey. Dewey has come to distance himself from Mary because he can sense some problems happening and he doesn't want Mary to get involved. Mary then suggests that Dewey could get help from the glorious guardians of good, and Dewey says that Mary maybe doesn't know everything about Vernon and Tex that she thinks she knows. And Dewey wishes that Mary would keep herself safe and says she should also keep an eye on Tom for his safety too. Then we're back at Kathy's apartment where a curtain has been set up to divide the space for Martha and Kathy. Since Kathy is having a date come over, Kathy and Mac go behind the curtain when Martha gets a visit from George, who wants to make up. George and Martha have a moment of dalliance, and then they hear some sounds coming from behind the curtain. George gets up and opens the curtain and is mortified to see Kathy and Mac together. George is predictably angry, saying, "Get out of this place," and finally leaves in disgust. And Martha says, "Kids, get back to your fun. I'm not too worried about it." So Kathy and Mac appear to do that. Then we're back at the Hartman kitchen for breakfast, and Mary has cooked grits, a recipe she got from Dewey. Tom isn't too happy about it, but also seems to be following Vernon's order and says that Mary has to end her friendship with Dewey. Mary is outraged and wonders why this is happening and thinks it isn't right. Tom pulls his pistol out for his glorious Guardians of Good patrol this evening, and finds that there aren't any bullets in it because Mary hid them, because bullets are dangerous. Tom takes the bullets from Mary's hiding place and loads his gun, expressing that a friendship between Dewey and Mary would be a dangerous thing, and he puts his gun in the lunchbox, heads off to work, and Mary has no idea what to say or think. Well, everyone, this is a Friday episode. I expect some big things may happen. I'm kind of scared. Why don't we go ahead and start?
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman! Hello? Hello, Texas? Texas, you just gotta help me find that diary. But Texas, you're the chief of police. There must be something you can do. Oh, Now, honey, you're not still mad at me about finding me in the bathtub with Howie, are you? But Pumpkin, I only arranged that whole thing so that he'd give me back the diary. Tex...
Lila, dear, sobbing into the furniture is a mark of bad breeding.
I'm miserable.
Of course you are. Now, let's just sit down here and have a nice chat and a cup of coffee, and you can tell me everything that's bothering you.
There is absolutely nothing that I want to say to you. The only time I'm going to talk to you is when I give you an order, and you still have to do everything I say because I still have your diary. Don't forget.
Here, dear. What's the matter, darling?
It's salt. It's not sugar, it's salt.
No, dear. I think you'll find that it's sugar.
It's salt.
Delicious. But, I think you're right. It does need a little more sugar. Perfect. Oh, darling, you've been under a great strain lately. And, the funny thing about strain is that it tends to do strange things to our heads.
There is nothing wrong with my mind. Nothing.
Lila.
Leave me alone. Just you leave me alone.
Ich bin von Kopf bis Fuß auf Liebe eingestellt. Doch das ist meine Welt, sonst gar nicht. Falling in love again, what am I to do? Never wanted to, can't help it. Men drift around me like moths around the flame. And if their wings burn, then how am I? Entree! Oh, hi. Hi, honey. Come on in.
Yay.
Gosh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Here, give me a hug. How about a cup of coffee? Just made a fresh pot.
Merle and I aren't sleeping together. And to prove it, here.
Those silly toys.
Oh, you know about the toys?
Oh, yeah. See, I was here when Tom tried to return them to Merle, but Merle didn't want them.
Merle didn't want him?
No.
Merle really didn't want him?
No.
I mean, you can tell me.
Mary, why are you doing all this?
Wanda. A guilt so huge that only a surgeon could remove. Although, I must say that your affair with Drexel, could wipe the slate clean.
But Mary, I told you that was ages ago.
Wanda, filth is filth. Oh, and I don't mean that as a judgment. I really don't.
Hey, hello. Oh, excuse me.
Don't use that.
What?
Don't put that in your coffee.
What do you...
It's not sugar, it's salt.
In the sugar bowl?
Yeah.
Why'd you put salt in the sugar bowl?
I didn't put it in, but it's salt.
It's sugar.
Hey, Chief, how you doing? Thanks for coming over on short notice there, Pard. Come on in here. How you been?
Oh, fine.
Haven't seen you in a while, you know that? Come on in, man. Here, you want a cigar?
Well, thank
Puff
you.
on one of them babies. I think you like it. They're made in, rolled up in El Paso. Sit down there.
Ah, thanks.
Well,
Look, I don't want to rush you into nothing, but what you want to see me about?
well, I tell you, Tex, actually, there's two reasons. First of all, I did want to touch bases with you because, you know, I haven't seen you in some time now. But secondarily, I've been a little bit concerned about something that I heard about you and Lila. Are you two having a little quarrel or something?
Well, if you can call me wanting to bash in her brains a quarrel.
Yeah, I'd call that a quarrel.
I'm going to tell you something, quite frankly, I mean, between you and me, I would truly love to get that woman off my back.
Well, this might sound a little bit strange to you, but for some time now, I've been thinking the woman is about to have a nervous breakdown. Now, I know that some of them marbles are loose, but here lately, it's like she's just about to drop out of her tree. Now, if that were the case, you being the police chief and everything, you could take her into custody. You could hold her there for reasonable length of time, and then we ship her on out to one of them sanitariums, one of them mental institutions.
Cackle factory.
Exactly. And it's all legal and proper, you understand? It'd be for her own good. I mean, in the eyes of everybody, they'd understand that. But I'll tell you, Texas, we could pretty well settle her case for a long, long time, if you know what I mean. You know.
Well, now, we do have to do our duty, don't we, Mary?
I think so. I think so. That just about does it. I'll tell you what, if I could make one more suggestion, we're going over to Capri Lounge tonight. Why don't you just cruise on by there in that big old police car of yours? And maybe, I just might have a passenger for you to take back, if you know what I mean.
Hey, I got you.
Okay, great. All right, good to see you.
Wait a second. Excuse me, Merle, but I just got to say something. I mean, you know the thing that I like about you the most?
What's that?
I don't know, it's the fact that you and me think exactly alike.
Gosh, thank you, Texas. I'll always cherish those words.
Look, you two. I just want to say something from the top. I know that you're trying to do something to me. I don't know what it is, but I definitely know you're trying to plot against me.
Lila, you're letting your imagination run away with you. Look, we're just putty in your hands, right, Merle?
I think she might be having a case of, what do you call it, paranoid.
Ah.
You think I'm crazy?
Yes, I do. But that could be caused because you're having difficulty sleeping. People with guilty consciences often have difficulty sleeping.
I am not having difficulty sleeping. I'm just not sleeping because I don't want to sleep. If I wanted to sleep, I'd sleep. I'd sleep every time.
But
Here, blow out this candle.
I think there's
in my
something wrong here, Lila, because, I mean, it's only an educated guess, but I'd say you're going haywire.
I'm going haywire?
Well, no, it may sound but if you examine what the statement here, let's consider that you did stuff them pedal pushers in the icebox. Now that's a little strange.
I did not stuff the pedal pushers into the icebox because why would I want them cold? Think, Merle, think. And the TV set does go off and on by itself. Oh, now don't you two worry about me. I'm just a little tired, that's all.
Oh, of course you're tired, darling. That's why you flipped out the other day and thought there was salt in the sugar bowl, isn't it?
There was salt in the sugar bowl.
Lila, I think if you'll remember, Mary tasted it right after you did, and she said it was sugar.
Hey, matter of fact, here's Mary now. Why don't we could just ask her?
Good idea.
No, I don't want to talk to Mary.
I just talked to Mom. She told me what happened over at Kathy's. Oh, but I feel terrible that you moved out of home. You can't do this, Pa. You just can't do this.
Lila, maybe you ought to see a psychiatrist.
Me? You guys are the ones that are crazy. You guys that are ones that have the secrets. But I know your secrets. I know your secrets.
Well, then maybe you should let out the secrets.
What?
Well, go ahead. Stand up and tell everybody.
Stand up and tell everybody here?
Mm-hmm.
But that would destroy both of you.
Well, be our guest.
That's what I'd do.
Well, I should do it for what you've been doing to me. Yes, I think I am going to do it. And then you'll see. Then you'll know what it's like. Listen, everybody. I have an announcement to make.
Yeah, folks, if I could have your attention just a second here. This is Lila. She's our maid, and she'd like to say a few words to us all. So if we could just hold it down just for a second, I'd appreciate it.
Oh.
Take it away, Lila.
Well, I'm here to tell you about our mayor and his wife, Merle Jeter and Wanda, who I'm the maid for.
Hey, Chief, how you doing there? Good to see you, Cora.
Hi, Ted.
Sorry, Lila. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm their maid, you see, and my job is supposed to be the cleaning and waxing and things like that. But I'm not supposed to put the sugar in the salt in the sugar bowl. I'm not supposed to do that. And I have nothing to do with the TV that keeps on going off and on in the middle of everything. And I have the secret to tell you. But I'm really tired. I'm really tired, and I can't. I'm tired.
If I could interrupt just one more time here. That television set that you just made reference to, now, is that the same set that you and Grace Kelly were watching that roller derby on last week? Is that the same set there?
No, but I've got this secret about them, and I think it's important for everybody in Fernwood to know just what type of people the mayor and his wife are. And I've got this secret. But I better tell Gary Moore, huh? I mean, then it'd be on television. Then it'd be all over the nation. Then it'd be on I've Got a Secret.
Excuse me, could you hold it down, please? Because we have a respectable joint here.
Princess Grace didn't watch the roller ball with me?
Hey, look, if you don't knock it off, lady, I'm gonna call the police.
I am police here. Lila, I think you and me better just take a little ride downtown so you can cool off.
Get your dirty hands off me! They got you in on this too! I can prove it all! I've got Wanda's diary!
No, you ain't. You lost the damn thing last week.
I hate you! You're a double-crosser! I made you everything you are,
get that broad out of here, will you?
Somebody help me!
Folks, I feel like I want to apologize here. I think the poor girl is finally going around the bend. It's too bad and everything, but we did see it coming.
Gee, what a shame. She seemed like such a nice girl.
Got a little surprise for you.
You're kidding!
No,
What is this?
no, open it up. Go on, open it up.
Where is it from?
It's from Vernon. It's from Vernon. He just thought that you ought to have something in way of thanking you for all you've done for the GGG party and the Dives for the Diseased.
This, isn't this fabulous? A cute little old cowgirl shirt with G's all over. That is darling. Look
Isn't
at
that
that.
lovely?
Isn't that Christian of him?
Tell you, I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you something else that GGG's going to do, sweetheart.
What?
I think that they're going to start their own GGG record label.
Are you?
I don't know how I know it either, but it's just a feeling I have, you know.
You got another feeling too that maybe they might ask yours truly to record
You?
exclusively on that label.
Only you.
Oh, Charlie, this is fabulous.
We're going to make you a superstar and put the GGG on the map all in one foul swoop.
I can't believe it. Can you, I mean, this is exactly like the good old days, you know, and everything's great, what's happening and all.
What? What's the matter,
Charlie,
honey?
I heard it again, just like the other night. I swear
I didn't
to
hear
you.
nothing.
It's out there, Charlie.
Wait,
I heard
no,
it.
just sit here. Just sit
Where
tight.
do you think
Just sit
you're
right
going?
tight. I'm gonna take
Oh, no, you're not, Charlie Haggers. Don't you? No, don't open that door. I'm telling you, we're going to go
we
get in the
got to
closet.
face it down. We got to.
No, Charlie.
Just.
I don't think you should do this.
Okay. We got to do it fast. Fast is the key. 1,
I can't believe you're doing this.
3. Oh, shoot. Tom!
What's the matter? Are you ready to go on GGG patrol? Huh?
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Hang on just a second.
What?
Hon, you didn't happen to see a prowler or nothing like that? Particularly one that's got kind of an extra large, giant size foot or nothing?
Prowler out there? No, I didn't see anybody out there, but we'll keep an eye out while we're patrolling.
Yeah, okay. Is that loaded?
Well, it's really mostly for show, you know, and you see, Vernon just thinks armed men are a deterrent to crime.
That makes sense, too.
Yeah. And besides, Mary got a threatening letter from the Mad Bomber.
Are you serious, Tom? My gosh, I can't believe it. I bet that scared a year's growth out of her.
Yeah.
Of course, she's already a full-grown person.
Did he sign it?
Probably.
Who?
The mad bomber, did he sign the threatening letter?
No.
Shoot. It's too bad. If he had, it would have been a good clue to his identification.
Well, no, don't worry about it. We're going to catch him. I mean, with the GGG and Chief Texas, we'll get that guy.
Yeah.
You ready to start patrolling now? You ready to go?
Let's go.
All right.
Charlie, now listen, I am really scared, so would you please hurry home just as soon as you can? And be careful out there in the dark now, honey.
Now, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to forward up real good. I want you to lock both locks, and don't open that door for nobody.
Are you
do you want
crazy?
do you want a secret knock?
Yes.
What should it be?
I see one one long and 3 shorts, okay? 1 long and 3 shorts. 1, 2, 3. Right.
All right.
All right, now I'm not opening up unless you do that.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Now,
see you later.
Charlie, please
See you, Loretta.
be careful. I love you.
Take
Now
care
be
of
careful and
yourself.
keep
Lock it
your
real good
eyes
now.
open
I
now.
will. Lock it real good.
Everything is just fine. It's just gonna be fine. I got a feeling, though it may seem kooky, that there's something out there acting spooky. I got a feeling. Charlie, honey, what did you forget? Maybe I'll just go with you.
So we've got a mostly Lila-centric episode today up until the fourth scene, which is its whole thing to talk about. So in the first scene with Lila, she's on the phone to Tex. She really wants the diary, but Tex is angry because he found her in the tub with Howie. And then she comes in and Wanda continues to gaslight her, having poured salt into the sugar bowl. And just luckily enough, after Lila goes back into the bedroom without seeing the salt and the sugar bag next to each other, Mary comes in right after Wanda has replaced the sugar. Lila warns her that there is salt in the bowl. Mary tastes it and, well, no, it's definitely sugar again. And then the other component of that scene is Mary bringing the toys back because she wants to confirm that she and Merle aren't sleeping together. They shared a kiss, I don't know how many months ago at this point, but that seems to have been forgotten. And Merle's interest in Mary, it really seems more platonic. It's a little bit unclear. There may be some sexual undertones, but there hasn't been any movement towards having sex together between Merle and Mary. Then we get Merle and Tex together, and this is where the plan against Lila seems to be reaching its apex. And that is, Tex is tired of Lila, angry at her, wants to bash her head in, which is kind of gross in general. Merle says, hey, we've got a plan for you. We can take care of her if you put her in the booby hatch. And speaking as a person who trains police officers to deal with the mentally ill, that's certainly not the way that crisis situations are dealt with nowadays. And in fact, when you bring someone to the hospital, hospitals don't want to handle mentally ill folks unless they are a real danger to themselves. Now, I understand that the rules and regulations in every state are different. In Illinois, at least, a person can be petitioned into the hospital to be taken in for observation, at least, if they are proven to be a harm to self or harm to others, or if they are dangerously unable to take care of themselves. And I know that's not the same in every state. That's specific to Illinois. I don't really know exactly what that is, but the main thing is that hospitals really don't want to be dealing with the mentally ill when their rooms are full of, I mean, especially after COVID, but even before COVID, hospital beds are for people who are injured or sick with some physical disease. At least that's the way it's seen by many hospitals. Not all hospitals are the same, of course. But the plan for Tex and Merle is to head to the Capri Lounge tonight, and there you will see a woman who needs to be put in a wacky hatch. And then we finally see that scene play out at the Capri Lounge. And other than a brief exchange between Mary and George about Martha leaving home, at least that's what I felt like they were talking about. The words didn't quite match up. It seemed like Mary saying that George left home. Maybe that's the case. It is all about Lila enacting the plan that Wanda and Merle have laid out for her, which is to just reveal exactly what she knows. And for some reason, she doesn't come out at all about the relationships between Lila and Wanda and Merle, because everything else weighs on her. And at this point, Joe the bartender, he does have a name, starts complaining, saying, get off of the stage or I'll call the police. And in this case, Tex is right there and is ready to take her away. And I don't know where she will end up. I suppose some kind of psychiatric hospital. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe she will be back in the ward where Mary started this season. And then we go back to the Haggers. We are finally done with Lila as far as this episode is concerned. And Loretta and Charlie are enjoying a gift from the glorious Guardians of Good. And Charlie hints that there may be a GGG record label. Not sure where that's coming from, but there it is. And then there's that mysterious rustling again, which turns out to be Tom in this case, with his pistol drawn and ready to go. Like, you really don't pull out a gun unless you're specifically intending to use it. But he just has it out, probably so we in the audience can see it. Then Charlie and Tom head out for their patrol, which is suspect. And again, remember that they don't know that they are in a white supremacist organization, but Vernon has been stoking up the fear of the membership. So who knows exactly what's going to happen, but that gun is still, it's a thing we've seen twice. It's a thing we've seen with specific mention of Vernon and the Glorious Guardians of Good, so I expect that gun is going to be involved in something, and I'm not looking forward to that. However, the secret knock happens, and Loretta opens the door because she was waiting for that, and then we see the camera angle on Loretta move upward like something very tall, approaching Loretta, and she goes straight in, and we don't even see the door shut, but she is clearly terrified. So, everyone, this week has had a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things going on this week. I cannot wait for next week. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions down in the comments. Thank you for revealing what has been concealed, and we will see you next week in Fernwood.